Namaskar. Welcome to Vision of Asia Voice of the Community on ITV Gold. I'm Ashok Vyas. This Sunday, as we meet and greet you, many of our friends in Long Island, Hicksville, are preparing to participate in India Day Parade. This Sunday, 1 week away from 75th Independence Day of India, we feel proud to be witnessing India's growth and footprint on the global scene. NRI community maintains its relationship with India's culture in several ways. And today, in this edition of Vision of Asia, we will take you to New Jersey at a temple which is always buzzing with activities dedicated to celebrating the spiritual dimension of India with divine touch. We will have a report from Umiya Dham on Garba organized by them. We will take you to special conversation with Padma Shri Dr. Sudhir Parikh, and we also have a special tribute event organized at Royal Albert Palace in New Jersey, where people paid their respect to founder Pujya Hari Prasad Swamiji. At Umiya Dham, second Patotsav was also observed. We'll have a report on that, and we take you to meet Varsha Naik, first women district governor of Lions Club International in New Jersey. And Bazana organized a summer picnic. Glimpses of that event also comes to you in today's Vision of Asia. So all this coming up right after these short messages. Stay with us. Welcome back. You're watching Vision of Asia Voice of the Community, and as community is ready to salute India on India's 75th Independence Day, One India Day Parade is being organized at Hicksville today. In a little while from now, many people will be gathering on the streets of Hicksville, marching with pride of being a part of that glorious nation. And culture is an integral part of Indian spirit. Let's go to New Jersey, where Umiya Dham volunteers and devotees got together for Garba. Over to this joyful celebration. In Vision of Asia, now we take you to a special conversation where we talk about several issues and seek insight from Padma Shri Dr. Sudhir Parikh. And now, time for weekly show with a passionate India lover, Chairman of ITV Gold and Parikh Worldwide Media. Get ready for loving sharing from physician, philanthropist, publisher, and India advocate in this week. Namaskar. Welcome to This Week with Padma Shri Dr. Sudhir Parikh. And Dr. Sahab, I take this opportunity of welcoming you once again. Namaste.
Namaskar.
So how are you?
Good.
And as we look at the situation around us, new guidelines about entering into indoor spaces, if you're going to gym or restaurant, they may ask you to show the proof that you were vaccinated. How do you feel it is likely to play out?
I think it's a great idea. Whatever prevents us to getting into third surge or second surge, whatever we call it, number about Delta, to prevent that, I think I don't mind to show my proof that I got vaccinated. And not a question of your privacy, it's question of the health and well-being of yourself as well as the public at large.
So, looking at it from the point of view of those who are in the situation of enforcing it, earlier we saw people were responding violently to the suggestion in some stores to wear mask. Do you think people will understand the gravity and the need to follow these protocols now?
Well, I hope everyone should understand, because everyone is educated, well aware of the facts, well aware of the subject. And if they don't, then it's a very unfortunate thing, and nothing much we can do about it. But I think we continue to educate them and make sure that they understand and they follow the regulations.
And staying with the reference of this COVID-19 and moving towards India, a famous cricketer, Virat Kohli, has said that due to COVID-19, there are additional stress. And if players don't take mandatory breaks, it might reflect on adverse mental health. So taking that as a cue, Dr. Saab, what preventive measures should be taken from the point of view of mental health?
Well, I mean, as long as people understand the subject very well, patients should be informed the facts of the COVID and pandemic. And I think most of the people who are educated and who are kind of very balanced-minded, there should not be any stress, really speaking. But there are people who are a little weak-minded. There are people who are always get overwhelmed. They can be affected, and of course, they should get the counseling, professional counseling, in case they are affected.
So now we move towards a very important issue, which is drawing attention from everybody, and that is the two attorneys who are investigating the case of Governor Cuomo have come up with their findings. And as you are aware, he's found guilty of having inappropriately touched some of his female employees. And they also say the environment in the office was of fear and intimidation. What is your first response to this finding as declared by Attorney General?
Well, I mean, if investigation showed that Governor Cuomo has done something illegal or inappropriate, then Governor Cuomo should be prosecuted and should face the judicial system and let jury of the peers decide whether he is guilty or not guilty.
So now, on the face of it, as we hear, he is said to have sexually harassed multiple current and former state government employees. And as I already mentioned, there was hostile work environment is also another charge. As as a way of having some proactive measures to prevent a repeat of this thing in any important office, the ultimate responsibility lies on the individual concerned also, along with whatever counter check and balances we can have. So your general thought on, do you think moral education would help, or what can be done?
Well, moral education and how to behave in a work environment with the opposite gender is always there in all the professional licensing board. We have to go through that kind of education, continuous education about how to behave with the opposite gender, how to behave with the minorities, how to behave with the uh, uh, people from the people of the foreign origin and so forth. So it's not that there is people are not getting educated. Only thing is it's a people those who kind of twist or bend their morality. They are the one who are doing it. But majority of the people they behave properly and they do follow the instruction or their education. So this is not new thing, and education is always there. We all take this education, whoever in the professional situation like doctors, lawyers, then public servants, MLAs, senators. They all have to know, and people those who are working with the large corporations. So education is there. Only thing is the individual who ban little morality, and that's why they do what they do.
Now, since this is such an important issue, so I would seek your input also, rather your thoughts. Sometimes people say that power corrupts and absolute power corrupts absolutely, and then people who are in a position of power, holding such important position, what is potentially the psychological bent of mind? Perhaps they think that they can get away with everything, and maybe it would not be justified at all. But is it the additional pressure of the moment, or the stressful situation, and then I don't know, the combination of many things? Just think loudly based on what you have observed in such cases.
Well, power corrupts. We understand that, but it's a very general statement because 99% of the powerful people don't do this thing. So only 1% does it. That means that there is nothing wrong with the power itself. It's wrong with the person who perceives the power what way. And that's why, so you cannot say that people who are in the power do all this thing. That's not true. And the people in the power does not, they might be overwhelmed with the work or stress, but that doesn't give them permission to behave immorally.
Absolutely, absolutely. There's no question about it. And looking at the COVID-19 situation, India is also grappling with the post-COVID, or still it lingers, potentially the threat that it is going to come back. And one news that caught my attention was that UP government is giving 2,500 rupees per month to children who lost their parents due to COVID. And you have been very active in mobilizing resources to help people in India. At this stage, what kind of help do you think is needed, and is Indian American community and several organizations are still working in this direction?
Well, I think definitely a lot of help needed to educate the people about COVID, how to follow the guidelines of the COVID CDC guideline in India. Also, anything we can do to educate the people to follow the COVID guideline, get the vaccinated, and stay safe.
Absolutely. And there's another cause of worry as we record this on Tuesday. There has been an instance which led to closure, a lockdown of Pentagon. There have been multiple shots in the metro. This again raises a lot of questions which are unanswered. But overall, the law and order situation, do you think there has been some difference with the new administration under President Biden, or what would be your advice to common man, as well as if you were in the advisory board for President to uh, have maintenance of law and order?
Well, I'm sure that current President Biden is administration is maintaining law and order up to its fullest ability. And so I mean, we are in the democracy, and in the democracy, there are always there are some restriction, and there are not some, there are some freedom is allowed, and therefore, this kind of incidents bound to happen. But of course, administration knows about it, it's vigilant about it, and I'm sure they are capable of handling it. So one incident here and there does not make anybody whether they are successful or not successful. So I don't think we should much worry about it.
Absolutely. And now, congratulating the Indian hockey team as well as sports people who are representing India. And this time, a lot of excitement for the first time. Indian hockey men as well as women team reached to that level which they didn't earlier. Overall, your response to particularly the joy which women sports personnel, including weightlifter Mirabai Chanu, etc., has brought for India.
So that's yeah. I mean, I'm very personally very excited and very proud of those Indian athletes who are performing well, getting bronze medal or silver medal or even gold medal, and we salute them, and we think they're making all Indian looks very proud. So, and also this proves that the gender has no, there is no barrier in your ability to do something very successful. So whether you are male or female, it doesn't matter. Really, you can, if you want to, you can always achieve something which is not achievable.
Absolutely. A lot of inspiring stories are coming up, Dr. Saab, and PV Sandhu bronze medal second time in Olympic, which is very, very rare. It doesn't normally happen. And the member of hockey team came from a very humble background where she didn't have enough money to have the required amount of milk. So these stories are quite inspiring. And looking at it, and I'm just loudly sharing, or rather throwing an idea. Indian American community and you yourself have been very active. Do you think there should be some collective effort on the part of NRI communities to have specific focus on supporting such sports talents?
Yes, yes. Obviously, we all NRIs. Doesn't matter whether it's American NRIs or any part of the world NRIs. They all should support this kind of athletes. Those who came up with the very hardship, to a lot of struggles, and so it should be supported. And that's the only way we can make our talent shine in the world. And I wholeheartedly support this kind of help to the athletes who needs help,
And
including
as
including the government should support it to them too, because this is the government's responsibility to make all the athletes achieve their potential 100%.
And as once again, month of August and 75th Independence Day of India, your feelings, and you have always been very enthusiastic about all these festivals related or rooted in celebrating India's democracy. Do you recollect any specific thing that connects you with 15th August right from your days in India?
Yes, yes, because 15th August is always a day where we celebrate our freedom from the British Empire. And we had a kind of colonial status for 200, up to 200, about 200 years from the British Empire. So when we got the independence, we always felt so kind of free, so democratic, and so excited, and we thought and we think even that because of the freedom we can write our own future rather than somebody else writes our future, and that's a big achievement as a on the freedom's Independence Day.
Absolutely. These are real inspiring words coming from someone who has realized how it is to walk on the steps of success with love for India in his heart. And your parting remarks from today's show, Dr. Saab, for our viewers.
Yes, dear friends, I would like to wish each and everyone a happy Independence Day. Be proud of India, proud of Indian democracy, and try to do whatever you can do for motherland India. And that is the best thing you can do in your life to help the country from where you came from. And this is my sincere pledge or my sincere suggestion to everyone. So let's enjoy the Independence Day. Again, the COVID is still around. Get vaccinated and be safe. So God bless America. God bless India. God bless Indian American community. And be good. And see you next week. Thank you.
When we respect our elders and we learn from their passion, dedication, and devotion, that helps us in connecting with totality of life. And this was palpably felt at a very solemn tribute organized to pay respect to founder of Yogi Divine Society, Param Pujya Hari Prasad Swamiji. Our chairman, Padma Shri Dr. Sudhir Parekh, was also present on this occasion. Here are some highlights.
हरि बिन तेरा कौन सहाई, हरि बिन तेरा कौन सहाई.
We lost great sant. We lost our guru. We lost our guide, and we lost a great philosopher. I was lucky enough that I was so close to him. Whether any events Yogi Divine Society had, Swamiji or Guru Prasad Swamiji always called me personally to be part of it, and I felt very, very lucky and blessed. The message from our Guru is his life. The way he lived his life, where he teach his devotee as well as the people, those who came in contact with him, that always respect each other. Everyone is equal, and if you and always extend your hand to others, and if you do that, then life becomes so good and so enjoyable to live. He has done so much, we all know. All the philanthropic work, particularly for the younger generation, university, he built the university, educations, everything, and always he was referring everybody as a bulka, it means a young baby. And that shows that he had a vision that any organization or any society cannot survive unless you respect and get young generation to get into the involved into that organization. So Swamiji, we learned a lot from you. We are really grateful to you for your guidance and your great wisdom. And please keep blessing us from the heaven. God bless you. God bless Yogi Divine Society. Thank you.
This is a very unique moment to reflect on life. I had the fortune to meet Swamiji several times actually because of Yogi Divine Society in Toronto and obviously rest of the country. And he held my hand and it was a very unique feeling. When he was holding my hand, I just felt vibrations as if somebody is going to hold my hand for the rest of my life. I think we are all fortunate that we have lived in a time when Swamiji was around us. And he'll be always around us because we had the moments to spend with him. So let's make a promise to ourselves that we will hold hands as long as we live and live together happily. My prayers for his journey because he is with God. And I thank you all for giving us the honors to be here on the podium. On behalf of my family, the Soni family, Pandya family, and rest of the people who are not here. Thank you very much.
Everybody has to leave their physical body, but his memories, he has touched so many hundreds of thousands of people, maybe millions of people he has touched all over the world. And we'll remember him. We have to carry his message of service, serving and emphasizing on children. And we want to make sure that we support in whatever way possible our community. And that's how we continue his legacy. And that's how I'd like to pay tribute to Swamiji and Jai Swaminarayan.
I'll tell you the small story will link to the Swamiji. આણંદમાં કૃષ્ણ હાઉસિંગ સોસાયટી હતી એના કોર્નરમાં અમારી નાની દુકાન હતી કરિયાણાની 10x10ની અને રાતના સામાન અંદર જતો રહ્યો તો બધા everybody was sleeping on a street. So I slept on street until I came to America. And Krishna Housing Society પાછળ હતી. But we had a good relation with every Patels, just like a family. So one of the guys, Nagin Bhai, એમના સગા ભાણા હતા સ્વામીના. એમના ઘરે નાનપણથી જ્યારે હું નાનો હતો ત્યારથી સ્વામીને ઓળખું છું. So it's not a loss of the Swami, but loss of one of the member of the family. Jai Swaminarayan.
Today is a sad day. As a matter of fact, we gathered here to pay the final respect, final goodbye to our beloved Swamiji. I had many opportunities during last 45 years to meet him at my home, meet him in many places, meet him in Sokra, and almost every time Swamiji came, I had really a good opportunity to spend good time with him, to learn from him. One thing we all find it, Swamiji is always a smiling face. For last almost 50 years, he really changed many people's lives. Sometimes he was most stubborn and committed person, whatever he believed.
પંખીડાને આ પિંજરું
જૂનું 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 લાગે બહુએ સમજાવ્યું તોય પંખી નવું પિંજરું માગે પંખીડાને આ પિંજરું જૂનું જૂનું લાગે બહુએ સમજાવ્યું તોય પંખી નવું પિંજરું માગે પંખીડાને આ પિંજરું.
Sri Umiyadam Temple at Edison, New Jersey attracts a lot of community members with devotion as well as with a sense of togetherness with focus on Indian culture. When second Patotsav of this temple, which is also acting as cultural center for the community, was observed, people were excited and they participated with lot of enthusiasm. Take a look.
Jai Mataji, I am the Vice President from the Umiya Temple. 2019 ની અંદર આપણે પ્રાણ પ્રતિષ્ઠા I did the 2019 પ્રાણ પ્રતિષ્ઠા after COVID, not make happen in the 2020 because of COVID and restriction lot of. Today's back to like a પ્રાણ પ્રતિષ્ઠા Mahotsav, no પ્રાણ પ્રતિષ્ઠા Mahotsav. So you can see the lot of people behind us and like so many sponsors, everything here. Thank you so much, ITV Gold.
મહેન્દ્ર પટેલ, એક્ઝિક્યુટિવ વાઇસ પ્રેસિડેન્ટ ઉમિયા ધામ એડિસન ન્યૂ જર્સી. આજે સેકન્ડ પાટોત્સવ છે મંદિરનો. 2 વર્ષની અંદર આ મંદિરે જે પ્રગતિ કરી છે એ કોમ્યુનિટીને બિરદાવવા જેવી છે. વી મેડ ધીસ ટેમ્પલ ફોર ધ કોમ્યુનિટી and the support we have received, as you can see in the background, that how many people during this COVID time is here.
માતાજીની કૃપા સદંતર રહેલી છે ભક્તો ઉપર અને આજે જે બધું આપણે અહીં જોઈ રહ્યા છે એ માતાજીની કૃપાનો પ્રતાપ છે અને સદંતર સમાજ ઉપર માતાજીની કૃપા બની રહે. અસ્તુ. જય માતાજી.
અતુલ પટેલ, Executive Secretary of Sri Umiya Parivar USA, Umiyadam, Edison, New Jersey. Today we are celebrating second Patotsav. In 2019, August 2nd, 3rd and 4th, we had 11,000 devotees attended this event and we opened this temple for entire Edison, Greater New Jersey and surrounding 5 states. Last year we did a first Patotsav, but due to COVID limits, we did not celebrate a grand way as we did today. Today we have a second Patotsav. We did actually 31 Patla and also we had another 100 sevas. Everybody participated full way.
એની આજે વર્ષગાંઠ છે. સૌ ભક્તોએ ભેગા થઈને ઘણી સંખ્યામાં બધાની સેવા આપી, હવન થયો. કોવિડની સુરક્ષાને ધ્યાનમાં લઈને બધું અમે કામ કર્યું છે અને જે શોભા અને જે આનંદ હતો આજના પ્રસંગનો એની તો કંઈ તમને વર્ણન કરી શકાય એટલા શબ્દો પણ નથી મારી પાસે. એટલે તમે જો આવો તો તમે પ્રેમથી એને વંદન કરો અને બધું માણી શકો. તો અત્યારથી તમને ત્રીજા પાટોત્સવનું આમંત્રણ આપી દઉં છું. સહુ આવજો અને અમારી સાથે ધામધૂમથી ઉજવજો. જય ઉમિયાજી.
Jai Umiya, Jai Ambe. We had a second Patotsav today in Umiyadam Temple in Edison. We had such a great turnout. We had about 700 people. We did puja, aarti, we have a prasad, and we did everything in front of Mataji. As you can see, the ideal of Mataji, she's beautiful. We would like to invite all the younger crowd to come join us so they can also feel, they can also see how exciting it is to be here. And we want to thank all the volunteers and everybody who came today and be a part of the second Patotsav. Thank you and Jai Mataji, Jai Ma Umiya. Bola Umiya Mat.
Welcome back. You're watching Vision of Asia Voice of the Community on ITV Gold, the program that comes to you every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursdays at 8 p.m. on ITV Gold, and a weekly special edition of Vision of Asia is presented every Sunday at 11 a.m. We appreciate your continued support and love. Stay with us. We'll be right back after these short messages. And now, time to congratulate Varsha Nayak, who has become the first women district governor for Lions Club International and in New Jersey. How she takes the responsibilities and opportunity related to this position, we'll hear from her.
My name is Lion Varsha Naik and I am the District Governor for District 16J for the year 2020-2021. This year, as we put this pandemic behind us, we really wanted to come together and serve from our heart. So my request to everyone, please support the Lions Club International because they are working so hard to bringing community back. And as a district governor, my goals for the year is bringing everyone together, put more and more service activity, hands-on service activity, in identifying the unserved area in New Jersey and do a service activity for vision, diabetes, hunger, childhood cancer, and whatever areas we can do it. Lions Club International did so much for the pandemic during the COVID-19 time. And this is time when we really feel that we should definitely give back to the community. And as a district governor for this year, for the District 16J, my goal is to strengthening the membership, identify the unserved area in the New Jersey and do more and more hands-on service so we can come together and serve from the heart. So district theme for this year is Together We Can. Yes, together we can do so much. And our international president theme is Service from the Heart. So district theme is Together We Can and Service from the Heart. Thank you so much ITV Gold for your always support and coming and giving us strength and support every time. Thank you so much.
My name is Hansa Mehta and I'm in the Lions Club for 21 years. We started New Jersey Indian Lions Club years ago. Me and my husband work very hard and every year we are joining more and more members and the logo of the Lions is we serve. So we are serving the community with the different projects to help the community. Yesterday also we distributed hundreds of wheelchairs, walkers, crutches, and all the needs for the handicap. And we are proud to do this. And we are honored today. After 21 years, today I got the position of the region chair, and I want to do my job properly. And God is with us, and we are doing this what we believe that we are doing the God's work.
Congratulate everyone, all the new members and all the individuals that have gotten their positions in. Congratulations to Varsha for her position as district governor. Want to thank all the Lions that are here today, that are participating in Lions. I want to say good afternoon, namaste, buenas tardes, magandang Japón, and salamu alaikum. With this, we could actually truly say that this is truly Lions International. With that, I want to also thank our international director, Jeff Gans, for being here today. And I want to thank everyone for participating. With that, I want to thank everyone, and I want to thank ITV for broadcasting again. Thank you, and God bless.
Hi everybody, my name is Joyce Mehta. I'm Region Chair. I was Zone Chair for 2 years with the Lions 16J, and now I'm Region Chair. Just wanted to say thank you to everybody who's attended here. Today, our District Governor Varsha Nayak is going to take us into a new generation of service only. We are there for every humanitarian need. Wherever there's a need, there's a Lion. And please feel free to reach out to any of us if you'd like to volunteer, if you'd like to support us in any way. And we too are here to support our community in every way possible. Thank you.
Yeah, I have joined in the Edison Metro Lions Club since 2016. And I have been doing services, enjoying help others and participating in many service activities which performances and or fight for hungers or the like veterans the hospitals and stuff. And I was the president last year, and I'm very glad to have the opportunity to serve in the Lions Club.
Hi, I'm Mahesh Chitnis from Lions Club in Central Jersey. We are here today to install the new officers for Lions Clubs in Central Jersey. The district is 16J. The Lions Club have been serving the communities all over the world for last 105 years. And even during the pandemic, our district in Central Jersey, we did a lot of work related feeding the hungry, supporting the healthcare workers with their masks, PPEs, and all other stuff. And we will continue to do that. We would need the support from our communities, both in terms of supporting our service as well as letting us know where the service is needed. I thank ITV Gold for coming in today and covering this event. With their support, I'm reaching out to all of you and asking you your support to let us know which community and what service that they need and where our Lions can come and support. Thank you so much and all the best for you guys.
Hi, I'm the new secretary for Varsha and for the district. And I hope that I can do a good job this year. I'm here to serve, and I know Varsha wants to bring joy and life and fun as well as service. So I'm here to be part of that, and I'm privileged, and I'm here to serve each and every one of our Lions. Thank you.
In 1957, a Lion from Pennsylvania that wanted to empower youth in his community started the first Leo Club, Abington High School in Pennsylvania. Since then, the Leo Club program has grown to over 177,000 members in over 150 countries worldwide. Lions care very much about empowering our youth to be the next generation of humanitarian leaders. One of our international presidents said it best: working with Lions is an investment in our future, the next generation of Lions Clubs International. We also work on many aspects of youth empowerment, including Lions Quest, a K-12 program to empower SEL learning in our communities.
As a part of Lions Club, kids are introduced to it as Leos. Through Leos, we are exposed to different varieties of leadership, community service, and Lionism that will help us not only in our future careers, but help us grow as individuals as well. I know personally, being a part of Leo and Lions for about 7 years, I have had experiences, opportunities that I would not have had anywhere else.
Good afternoon. My name is Lion Subarna Sahani. I'm the past president of Princeton Lions Club and current secretary of Princeton Lions Club. We are gathered here, and with me I have beautiful Honglen, who is our cabinet treasurer. We are gathered here to celebrate Lionism. It's the start of the new Lionistic year, and we are here to celebrate our new cabinet, our district governor, Lion Varsha Naik. And I am the multiple district, which is state of New Jersey, Leo Vice District Chairperson at this point. We start the year with all, bringing our Lions together. This year, our motto is service from the heart. You will see Lions in the state of New Jersey wearing their hearts on their sleeves and serving their community. We are here to serve you. Thank you.
I'm Jeff Gans from the New Jersey Lions and a member of the Camden Lions Club. I'm international director, and I was asked here today to install the officers of 16J. It was a fantastic time. Most of the officers were here, very receptive. I'm looking forward to great things from this district and hopefully getting more members, and those who are watching this video will also become members of the Lions Club International Foundation. Our motto is we serve. We can only serve if we have more hands, more hearts, and we're asking you to help serve with us.
Bihar and Jharkhand Association of North America organized a summer picnic at Thompson Park in New Jersey recently. Members enjoyed not just mingling with each other, but also participating in several activities. This summer picnic also made them find an excuse to focus on the main aim of Bihar and Jharkhand Association of North America. Take a look at this event in our special report.
यहाँ बहुत अच्छा लग रहा है कि बिहार और झारखंड के लोग जो अमेरिका में हैं सब एक परिवार जैसा वातावरण है। सभी एक दूसरे में इतना ज़्यादा लव एंड रेस्पेक्ट है और सभी एक दूसरे की मदद करते हैं अपने परिवार की तरह। और तो और इस पेंडेमिक के समय में हम लोगों ने बिहार और झारखंड में काफ़ी रिलीफ वर्क भी किया है। 50 ऑक्सीजन कंसंट्रेटर भेजा, 2 एम्बुलेंस भेजा और टेलीमेडिसिन से वहाँ के कोविड मरीजों की सहायता की। तो ये सब बजाना मेंबर्स के सहयोग से होता आया है और आगे भी अगर इनका सहयोग मिलता रहे, ऐसे पूरा विश्वास है, तो हम लोग और भी आगे काम करते रहेंगे।
Bajana is one of the most prominent and one of the most active community organizations here in the US. Their contribution, especially during the pandemic, has been really admirable. People have got together and have donated generously to aid efforts within India, especially within Bihar and Jharkhand, under the leadership of Dr. Avinash Gupta, President of Bajana. The team has done tremendous work.
It's good to see the big turnout. More than 400 people join our Bajana picnic, and as you can see, everyone is having good time. Lots of food, right from the chicken to mutton to paneer to lots of different food options you have. And looking forward for an awesome event this year. We are going to have 2 in-person events. One is going to be Chhath and Diwali. So make sure if you miss this event, in next 2 events, join us. And if you miss this year, looking forward all of you to join our event next year. So thank you very much everyone for joining this event.
Today you will be delighted to know that among us, one and only one, those who have founded this beautiful organization, and we cherish today that how come our seniors who failed to have such a platform, who from there everyone get connected. And among us today we have our Ranjit uncle, who is the pillar of the Bajana, and we want to listen from him his words and his visions for the Bajana. Uncle.
थैंक यू आलोक। हमारे लिए बहुत ही गर्व की बात है कि 1974 में जब हम लोग नए थे अमेरिका में, हम लोगों को लग रहा था कि हम लोग अकेले हैं और घर की याद बहुत ही आती थी। पटना की बात याद आती थी, रांची की बात याद आती थी। तो हम लोगों ने सोचा कि हम लोग एक छोटा सा ऑर्गेनाइजेशन शुरू करें और लोग आएँ। और तब से 1974 से और आज तक देखिए कि इतने लोग हैं और ये बढ़ता ही जा रहा है। और इसके लिए हम बहुत ही धन्यवाद देना चाहते हैं आलोक और जितने मेंबर हैं, डॉक्टर गुप्ता जो हमारे प्रेसिडेंट हैं, अभी इतने यंग लेडीज़ एंड चिल्ड्रन सब ग्रो कर रहे हैं। बहुत ही अच्छा लग रहा है कि बिहार और झारखंड एसोसिएशन का ग्रुप इतना बड़ा हो रहा है। सो थैंक यू वेरी मच हमें बुलाने के लिए। आई एम ऑलवेज अ पार्ट ऑफ इट एंड आई विल ऑलवेज बी। थैंक यू।
पैंडेमिक के बाद हम वापस से एक बार फिर से मिल पाए हैं और बजाना पिकनिक हर साल ऑर्गेनाइज होता है। इस बार 1 साल के गैप के बाद हुआ है, बट वी हैव ओवरवेलमिंग रेस्पॉन्स और काफ़ी लोग आए हैं। दिस इज़ ऑल्सो अ प्लेटफॉर्म वेर इन मैनी न्यू पीपल हु कम फ्रॉम इंडिया, दे कम कनेक्ट विद अदर्स, they get a lot of helps in terms of connecting to the people who are already here. It is very nice seeing so many of us here without mask, not because everybody is vaccinated. Definitely we are still, if we have to follow the guidelines, we will definitely. We also have one upcoming event which is 75th in India Independence Day. And here is the flyer I'm still holding and distributing, letting everybody know that we are going to do a biggest ever flag hoisting at Times Square. It is a free event, so please join. You can check the website of FIA and you have all the details given there.
Now we will distribute certificate to all the participants
and all the volunteers who really did a great job in conducting this summer camp. All these are high school volunteers, and this is what it is. These younger kids will become high school student again, so they are going to volunteer in future.
Time to say goodbye from today's Vision of Asia Voice of the Community, but also time to recollect with you that we are always with you on our Facebook page. Be friends with ITV Gold on our Facebook page, as well as subscribe to YouTube channel of ITV Gold. Keep writing events at ITV Gold. This is Ashok Vyas wishing you a great week ahead. Thanks for being with us. Namaste.